Support for this week's episode of Gettin Grown comes from Form. You, yes, you sis, you're more than a hair type. You're unique and so is your lifestyle. And with Form, now your hair regimen can be too. Form is the first women's prestige hair care collection to celebrate beauty in all its forms. The Form collection makes hair care simpler by offering personal product regimens that are customized for your individual hair needs. Get 10% off your entire order when you visit formbeauty.com/grown. That's FORMbeauty.com/grown. Get personal and fortify your edges with Form.
Today's episode of Gettin Grown is also brought to you by Talkspace. Talkspace is the online therapy company that lets you choose from over 1,500 licensed therapists. Get matched with your perfect therapist who can put you on the path to a happier life. For a special offer for our listeners, visit Talkspace.com/grown. That's Talkspace.com/GROWN. Buenos noches.
Good evening.
Welcome back to another episode of Gettin Grown with Jade and Kia.
Hey guys, it's Jade and Kia back to talk about all things adulting. Or that's what we think we're doing at the very least. What's going on, sis? How are you?
I'm here. I'm here in the present form, and my eyes are open and I'm breathing. How are you?
Above the ground.
Above the ground. Yes.
It's a blessing to be above the ground. I'm doing well. Can't complain. I'm doing well. Happy to be here for episode 20. Check us out. 20 episodes, 20.
You did something really fun and exciting.
I did. I had the privilege and blessed opportunity to go to the live recording of Black Girls Rock.
Because you a black girl who rocks.
I certainly hope so. I'm trying, I guess I should say. It was awesome. They have such an awesome lineup of Black women that they are honoring this year, and I got an opportunity to see it first. But the rest of you all lovely ladies and wonderful gents will be able to see it on August 22nd, I think is when they're going to air it on BET. And this year they're honoring, I'm going to try to remember everyone's name. But an awesome cadre of absolutely amazing African-American women. Get into my alliteration. Let us start with, maybe I should just look it up, Jesus. I know Suzanne Shank received she is a Black woman financier, Wall Street mogul. She received the Shot Caller Award. Solange is the celebrant for being, or I should say, she's a celebrant for being the rock star this year.
Falling your way.
Yes. Sorry. We appreciate you for that.
Thanks.
Yara Shahidi got the Young Gifted in Black Award.
Yes.
Founders of Black and Missing, they are being celebrated, as well as Issa Rae got the Star Power Award.
Yes, she should.
Mother Roberta Flack received the Living Legend Award. Yeah. And last but certainly not least, they honored the one and only Auntie Maxine Waters with the Social Humanitarian Award. And you guys are going to live, because let me tell you something. Auntie Maxine came in her finest frocks and pumps for us. She is dressed up, and she has a word to deliver. And we all should be perched in front of our televisions on August 22nd when BET airs it. Beverly Bond, is the founder of Black Girls Rock. It's really an awesome show. There were live performances. It's hosted by Taraji Henson, who did an amazing job. Lettucey performed. And Lettucey is like sickening.
Yeah.
First of all, and I don't know, she has been, counting her calories and watching her carbs and running for her life and get her cardio in, because she looks like a Barbie doll. I'm like, when did Lettucey get tiny? But amen. And NDRE performed, as well as don't do that, because she really did sound good. And Tyrese performed, and I will say that, you know, I could appreciate his contribution to the show because he did not speak. He sung.
As long as he's singing, he's cool. Or reciting lines from Baby Boy.
It's fine. I think that it all came together. I think it's good. It's going to be an
You know
amazing
I love
show.
you, girl.
I'm reclaiming my time. We're not doing any of that.
Do that to me.
I'm reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time.
I'm reclaiming the lines from Baby Boy.
I'm reclaiming my time.
I don't want to get to heaven and Jesus be like,
I'm reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time. You want to talk about the things I've done?
I'm reclaiming my time.
I'm reclaiming my time from you. But yes, everybody, I clapped it out because I mean it. Make sure that you watch Black Girls Rock on BET on August 22nd. You're going to get your life.
And make sure you listen to Getting Grown every Tuesday from the Loudspeakers Network on iTunes, SoundCloud, all that.
Indeed.
Thank you to everybody who's continued to listen. You know, we're going to thank you every week because we truly appreciate you all. And, yeah, all of that right there. So let's go ahead and get into our show.
It's time for Shout Out to My Sis.
My sis is popping right now, like.
Take it away, sis.
Our shout out to my sis this week belongs to a lady who we've all been doubtful about for quite some time. Like several episodes and like a season.
True.
It's Tasha from Insecure.
We speak your name, Tasha.
You speak your name tonight, Tasha, because when you got on that phone with that flyaway weave on that one side and you said
that stray leaf out, that stray piece of leaf
you
out.
apologize for shit
but
that you ain't even sorry for.
Did not our hearts burn when she said that? I know it definitely resonated with me.
I mean, it in my bones, sis, in my marrow.
My God.
In my marrow. It got down to my marrow. Like, make a soup out of me, my nigga. It was all in there.
Gross.
That'd be delicious. But she was like, you apologize for shit you ain't even sorry for. Yo. Then she said, you know what? You a fuck nigga.
Quote
then
it.
She said, you a fuck nigga. She said, and you the worst kind of fuck nigga. She was like, you the fuck nigga who thinks he's a good guy.
My Lord. And before I knew anything, I was standing on my feet.
I was on the floor, actually. I was on my hands and knees. I was the opposite.
Woo! I was like,
reverence.
I just don't know what was happening, but something in my soul
sis
sat right up. I was like, my God, that is just what a word. What a word.
You just spoke like an entire book.
You don't even know it, Tasha. But
you just wrote a new book.
Literally called so many women out of the darkness and into the marvelous light. You don't even realize it.
You sure did.
Because, woo!
I was like, teach the girls. I was like, you will wait. We fall down, but we get up.
But wait, sis, let me ask you this. While we're speaking Tasha's name, because listen, I said last week that I was proud of Tasha for about 7 minutes, and then she disappointed me again. So it was good to see that there's redemption. You know what I'm saying? God is the God of second chances. We were able to give Tasha redeemed herself today, and in such a marvelous way. But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this right quick while we're here. I think I have an answer for this, but I'm interested to know. Why do you feel like a fuck nigga who thinks he's a good guy is the worst kind of fuck nigga?
Oh, because you actually think you're being a good person. Like, you actually think that you are doing me like services. Oh, that was another thing she said. She was like, you think by telling the truth. You think by telling the truth, you're just a good guy. Like, you're not let me hip y'all to something, especially if you're listening. I don't know. I really, truly hope there are no fuck niggas who pretend to be good guys, but are really not. Listen, I really hope they don't. But if you are, let me say this to you one time real quick. You're a terrible human being. You're awful. You're manipulative. You are trash. Why? Don't do that to women. Don't do that. And women, don't do that to men. Don't act like you're a good person. You're actually not a good person. Because then you are the worst type of nigga. The worst type of ain't shit father to me, the worst type of deadbeat daddy to me is not a deadbeat daddy who ain't got no job, don't pay no child support. You can't even find this nigga. It's the worst kind are the ones who got good jobs and whole ass families and abandon their families and shit like that. Like, it's niggas like that who I can't stand, because you are cognizant of the things that you do. You are cognizant and you pretend and live in this bubble as if you are this decent human being, and you're actually not. You're actually a terrible person. And you coming to me and telling me, oh, well, I fucked old girl. You're not doing me no services, my nigga.
So a lot of times, and we're going to talk about this is kitchen table talk. I think we lose sight. We get so wrapped up in ourselves. That we lose sight of the way that our behavior, our actions, our choices affect other people. So I think what really just busted me in my stomach when Tasha said that was it became so clear that like she acknowledged his intentions were all messed up. Like you were saying, like he did not apologize to Tasha for having sex with Issa because he really gave a damn about Tasha. He apologized to Tasha for having sex with Issa because he felt guilty and he wanted to clear his conscience. He wasn't truly sorry. Like, he didn't have real regret, but it was just like, dang, this makes me a terrible person. I think that was so significant. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Like self-reflection is really real. But think about it. Like, how many times have we been in instances or been in situations where we've realized it's like, what I'm doing right now is about self-preservation, not necessarily because I care about the other person.
I give a damn about the other person's feelings. Right.
And that's why a fuckboy who thinks that he's a good dude is dangerous, because he's living behind this he's living behind this like facade of like, I'm a good person, I have values, and my allegiance is to keep up this facade, not necessarily to actually, right. I have to keep up this appearance of being a good person versus actually checking the flawed things about my character that would make me a bad person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not willing to actually make different choices or change.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It's lazy.
They don't want to do that. It's lazy.
It's lazy. And it's like a sense of entitlement, because it's like, nigga, you think you're entitled to treat me this way.
And those are the niggas who end up emotionally abusive, because they are already manipulative human beings. They live their life in manipulation. Like, they pretend to be one person and they are actually another person. And then like you said, the key word that you said, they're dangerous. And it's dangerous because they'll always spin it back as if it's you. And everything that they do is for self-preservation. So they're never, ever going to truly look out for you, but they're going to pretend that they look out for you. And if you are a weak-minded individual, that can actually really, really, really damage you as a person. You know what I'm saying? It takes a really like self-assured person to deal with a manipulative person, because then they can recognize the manipulation and they know how to move with that. But there are people out here who they're not strong like that. They're not mentally and emotionally strong enough to deal with that. And it's not okay to do that to people. It's not okay to manipulate people into thinking that you're a good person if you're going to continue to partake in actions that are going to hurt them. You going and fucking 12 girls and coming back and telling me you fucked 12 girls
does not absolve me from the fact that you fucked 12 girls. Exactly.
It's not okay. Exactly. It doesn't make it okay because you came back and said, I fucked this girl, I'm sorry. I fucked this girl, I'm sorry. I fucked this girl, I'm sorry. No, niggas, stop fucking girls.
True indeed.
Recognize your behavior and what's causing you to go out here and fuck other people.
Because they make you, in which case communicating it holds the other person accountable, right?
Exactly.
Because if I continue to deal with you, if you telling me that you're that you cheating on me and you're apologizing, you know what I'm saying? It's my responsibility. You know what I'm saying? I continue to let you treat me this way.
You're not giving me the choice. When you go out and you cheat on me, you are not giving me the choice to say whether or not I want to be in a relationship with a person who gives himself to other people.
No, but you are. If he comes back and tells you.
If he comes back and tells you. if he does. I'm saying there are so many things that make niggas fuck niggas. Like, there are fuck niggas who pretend to be good guys who don't come back and say anything. They are worse. They are horrible. And they are also very dangerous because they will come back and give you diseases. And then there are niggas who come back and then they tell you, oh, I did this and I'm sorry for it. But they never, ever, 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 ever change their course of action.
That's what I'm saying. And I feel like words mean things. So, like, you know, we shouting out Tasha because she called it out.
Because she called it out.
You apologizing. Apologizing signifies that you are remorseful about that, about your actions. And I mean, what's the point of being remorseful about an action that you're not willing to change?
Exactly. I'm sorry means I'm going to stop. I'm going to recognize what I did wrong. I'm going to recognize how that affected you. And then I'm then going to take that and turn it around so that I never repeat that action to hurt you.
Or even
That's
just
what
like,
I'm sorry means.
Even just even to say it even more simplistic than that. It's like, I'm sorry signifies that I care about you enough that if I know that this hurts you, I will not do anything to intentionally hurt you or damage you or make you feel this way again. I'm sorry for making you feel this way.
Exactly.
I will not do anything that will make you feel this way again. That's what I'm sorry signifies. But
and
I mean,
half the time in an apology, we want the recognition. We want you to know what you did was wrong, but we want to know why you think it's wrong. And you have to recognize why something is wrong. Like, you also, for yourself, don't need to be going out here and giving empty apologies out, because if you don't recognize what you did wrong, that means you're going to turn around and do it right again.
Which is the point. So anyway, the whole point of this was that we are just really proud of Tasha for finally recognizing, you know what I'm saying? And recognizing and calling out the half-assery for what it is.
And then for so eloquently speaking, for all my niggas in the whole wide world, like, for speaking for so many women who have not had the balls or even the words.
I'm about to say the language.
They haven't had that. They don't know how to form it. They have it in their heart, but they don't know how to express it.
Like,
and she came right out the gate like, you a fuck nigga, and you the worst kind of fuck nigga, and this is why, nigga. Like, I was like, you gotta spit it out. Like, so shout out to you, sis.
Shout out to Issa. Shout out to Issa for writing that. Like, hell legit. Yeah. Like, you gave it voice, sis.
And for redeeming Tasha.
I hope that we can hold on to this.
About 2 seconds from canceled.
I really hope that we can hold on to this. I appreciate you letting us in this episode with, celebrating Tasha.
Word.
But yeah, that was so good, I guess. So good. So good. It blessed me. Like, bruh, stop saying sorry for stuff. Stop saying sorry for stuff you're not going to change. That's a word. We could end the show right now.
We really could. Like, fuck niggas need to just, you know what? It would refresh me if half of you all would just come out the gate and say, I want to fuck people and I don't want to be with you. And I just want that to be known. I'd have so much more respect for you. I'd have so much more respect, but y'all can't say that. Because you want to have your cake and eat it too.
Nah, because they want to be good guys, right? But
you're not a good guy. But you're not a good dude, though, nigga. Just because you listen to Kendrick Lamar don't mean shit to me. Okay? You're not a good nigga. You're not.
No, but I feel like, and in all fairness, I think it's fair for you to have good intentions. But I don't think it's fair for you to wait around.
Man, your good intentions don't mean a motherfucking thing to me if you don't back them up with some good actions.
Let me finish, bruh.
Sorry.
I said, as I was saying, I think it's fair for you to have good intentions, but if your actions don't match your intentions, it's not fair for you to expect people to wait around for your actions to match up with your intentions. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
We said it before about niggas' potential. Now we're going to say about niggas' intentions. Niggas can have all the best intentions in the world. They can tell you straight out the gate that they want to marry you. But guess what? It don't mean nothing if y'all are still laid up 6 years later.
Intentions does not absolve you from responsibility. I mean, the same pertains to like crime. You know what I'm saying? Like if I shoot you and you die, even if I ain't mean it, I'm going to jail. Like,
Yeah.
that's it. Like, that's it.
Damn, I missed.
Dang.
Like, that wasn't the right person though, but it doesn't matter. You killed the
Doesn't
human.
matter. Exactly.
So therefore,
Shout out
yeah.
to Tasha. We
Shout out
speak
to
your name.
Tasha.
I never thought that I would be saying this, girl, because you have been pressed, honey. Like fresh ironing board from Walmart pressed with a new cover.
Panini.
Pressed, honey.
Frontega chicken.
Turkey Bravos from Panera Bread. But you know what, girl? You did your good work today, and we salute you. We salute you, sis.
You went natural. Anyway.
Shut up. It's time for kitchen table talk. I just watched you I said we were starting at this time, and I just watched you set up a whole situation. I was trying to figure out what was happening.
I'm sorry. There was a small fire.
A small fire. Lord Jesus. Help us, God. Are you okay? Are you safe?
I'm good. I'm safe.
Do we need to call the authorities?
No, we're great over here.
Okay, fantastic. Welcome back to the kitchen table, guys. We're back to talk about some grown folks' business. Before we get started, sis, do you have any snacks? Are you toasting marshmallows? Are you around your campfire? You good?
I have leftovers from my cookout earlier. Mm-hmm. So I have a burger here with some Gouda and some blue cheese.
Fancy.
And I seasoned that meat for Jesus.
Well, only what you do for Christ will last.
That's it.
That's
what
all.
What about you? What are you munching on?
I'm not munching on anything. I have a liter and a half of water because I am committed to letting go of all of my girdles before my 35th birthday. I'm tired of holding my stomach in. So I'm going to change my snacks. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to drink water. It's very important.
Last week I got fries, you got nachos, you got apple cider vinegar, now I got a burger, you got water.
I just want to be snatched. Water. I feel like I deserve that.
Now I got to snatch. Black woman self-care. I'll get there. Anyway.
Okay. So while I drink my water, I thought we would talk about communication because we talk a lot about using our words here and how that's that's critical to adulting. But I've noticed, or just kind of, well, before we get there, let's just say, in terms of communication, I thought it would be cool to think about our communication styles, or how we approach different conversations in different relationships, whether they be personal, professional, romantic, platonic. So, sis, let me ask you, would you say that your style of communication has changed or evolved as you've gotten older? Yes or no? And if so, in what ways?
I don't think it's changed a whole lot. It might have evolved in the sense where I have now kind of learned a lot more some of the things I should say and the times I should say them. And also how to say things where they don't necessarily hurt people's feelings, whereas that wasn't my strong suit prior.
Major.
So I would say it's evolved in that sense where I've been able to master that form of communication. So now I'm like, okay, I can step back for a second. If I say it this way, then I know I'm gonna get this type of response. But if I say it, I can garner a visceral response. So maybe that's not the best manner. So let me think about this first. So I think a little bit more first before I communicate, so that I'm not saying things that I don't mean, and I don't have to retract my words.
Totally.
What about you?
That's awesome. I think that for me, I've tried to become a much more active listener.
Okay. Yes.
Because we'll get to it, I guess, in one of the questions that I have for later on. But I noticed that I did a lot more talking. I was doing much more talking than I was listening. You know, it's frustrating because, you know, I was constantly misunderstood. And in assessing, you know, well, what is contributing to the fact that niggas are not getting me? I think that, you know, I was able to take a step back and realize that, okay, maybe I was not, you know, really approaching the dialogue or the conversation in a way that was most productive, and that, you know, conversation for me is not just about making my point, but it's also about hearing and responding in a way that's most productive. So I think as I've gotten older, one of the major lessons that I've learned is that, you know, listening is critical to communication. My brother used to say all the time, Indeed. My brother, his high school basketball coach, Mr. Mayfield, shout out to you, Spence. We used to call him. His name was Spencer Mayfield. Mr. Mayfield used to say to us, and it was a joke at the time, he used to say, listening is a sign of intelligence. So like, he would say, like, that's for the, you know, anyone, if he needed to repeat something. So if he said, you know, we're going to warm up for 10 minutes and then we're going to start basketball drills or something, never fails, one person would be like, when we going to start basketball drills? And then he would say, listening is a sign of intelligence. Now, you just show me how smart you are, okay? So, like, you know, it was something that I've heard time and time again. My brother used to say it over and over and over, and it was like a joke. We would talk about it, but listening is a sign of intelligence. Like,
It really is.
like, you know what I'm saying? If you're not listening, you literally bang your head up against the wall. You just talking, but you're not, you know, being receptive. Because communication is, in fact, a two-way street, no matter what.
It's also a sign of respect, because it shows the other person that you actually give a damn about what they're saying, and that you actually want to, because the whole thing is, this is a communication, right? So we're trying to get to a common ground here. So it shows the other person that you want to hear the where they're coming from, so that you guys can reach a conclusion that works for the both of you, and you can both see the other's point of view. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it will help you to recognize something within yourself, or maybe it'll help the other person to recognize something within themselves. But you're never going to know where they're coming from if you don't stop and listen to them.
True. Word to little Kim. All right, so let me ask you this. In this, oh my God, I love that song. I know you see me on the video.
True.
I keep saying like that. That's so birdish, right?
I know you hear me on the radio.
True.
But you still don't pay me no attention. Listening to what your girlfriends mention. He's a slut. He's a hoe. He's a freak. Got a different girl at a day of the week.
Every day.
That's what I said.
Is that? Okay, carry on.
It's true. Not put a crush on you. I gotta let you know that I got a crush on you.
Hey, yo, shorty, won't you go get a bag of the lethal? I'll be undressed
in a bra or see-through.
Why you count your jewels thinking I'ma cheat you?
The only one thing I want to do is creep you. And
these lyrics you are butchering. And I for one, will
and
not stand by
that you won't
and watch
regret.
you do
Little
this.
Kim the Queen.
I'm reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time. I'm reclaiming my time.
I'm throw shade
reclaiming my time. I'm reclaiming my time.
Like the army grenade. You
I'm
can slide on my eyes like the ice capade.
I'm
reclaiming. Get you yaya with the marmalade. You just missed all of the proper lyrics.
No, because you fumbled through the first part of the verse.
Fine.
No,
fine.
It's not fine. It's
I'm
not.
a little drunk. I had some delicious whiskey at the park.
I do not care. It's not an excuse. See?
You being drunk does not absolve you.
Thank you.
Of the responsibility of knowing Little Kim lyrics.
And you see how Jade was just modeling ineffective communication skills, because as I told her that I was reclaiming my time, she did not listen. You were not being an active listener. You were not being an active listener when I told you.
As I got the lyrics together and they were all correct, you stopped singing with me. Who is loyal and who is not?
This is not about loyalty. This is about communication.
Loyalty.
We are arguing. We are arguing, and you are getting on my nerves. So stop it in front of these people. Thank you. Now, let me ask you this question before I really bust you upside your head. Anyway, I'm sorry. Please excuse her. Excuse her.
I'm just a little drunk.
She's irritating. Yes, I did smack just like that. So, let me ask you, has social media, okay, not you specifically. Oh my God.
Yeah,
are you kidding?
No, I'm getting into this question.
Oh my God. How do you think social media has changed the ways that we communicate with one another?
It's made niggas stupid.
In what way? Please expound.
Because niggas think that they have to actually speak in 140 characters when there are so many more words in this world that you actually need to use in order to get your point across. Because I don't know what the fuck you just said. I don't know what you're talking about because you're trying to speak to me like you typing out a tweet. So yes, I do think social media has made niggas stupid. It's made niggas stupid in how they communicate with women. They don't know how to holler at women these days because all they do is slide into people's DMs. They don't know how to talk to one another. People are sitting on their phones all over the place and they talk to each other through Twitter. When we're looking at one another, we are sitting in the same room. And yet,
I'm feeling judged. Anyway, when you clarify this for me, when you say niggas, when you say social media are you speaking about black people specifically? Are you speaking about men? Are you speaking?
I don't know what white people do on Twitter. I can't speak to that.
Okay, so are you talking about black people, male and female? Or are you just talking about black men?
I'm just talking about everybody. See, you have to realize that sometimes I use niggas in a very general sense.
Yes, I do realize that. That's why I was asking.
I'm generally talking to black people. I'm most of the time talking to black people.
But I would argue,
no shade to anybody else. I
would argue that social media has impacted the way that we all, regardless of race or ethnicity, communicate with one another. So I think that, I do agree with you that people have resorted to this, practice of announcing versus actually like dialogue or communicating with someone. Like, people, this is how I feel about it. This is my position. This is my status update. This is how I feel versus like, okay, let's talk about it.
Like, here's the thing though. Social media, sis, do words mean things?
Every day. So
what does social mean?
Well, social suggests that, it's between people, like communication, from person to person.
Yes. Thank you. Social suggests that we are intermingling with one another. Know what I'm saying?
Engaging, yes.
So that means that you people who post these statuses like, blah, la, 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 this is how I feel, and I'm not looking for your opinion. Well, then, bitch, you get a diary. Like, I would just get a journal then and say it there because who cares?
Yes, I agree. Even though
and now you're going to make me say what I feel just because I feel like trolling you. Like, why would you even post that on a thing that has things like a like and a love,
oh my God,
a reaction, a wow,
oh my God,
and a sad face. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then there's also this little box that says comment. You know what I'm saying? So like, why are you posting things and then you put this disclaimer up and you're like, oh, by the way, I don't care what you think about it. It's not about that. Like, I understand that. Like, I've said that. Like, I don't care what you think about my opinion, but like, I'm not posting things for you to just read my declaration. Like, nigga, I'm not like, this is not the Declaration of Independence. Like, I'm not just stamping some shit up here on my wall just so you can read it. And like, who gives a shit what I think? Who gives a shit what you think?
Oh, wow. Well, tell us how you really feel.
I mean, it's just true. It's like, if you're really going to be such an asshole about it, like, I don't care what you say. I'm like, well, bitch, bye.
So, okay. I think it's fair. Sometimes you do have a position and it's fine to have it. But I agree with you that you should not close the door to response on social media. But I'm talking about how has the way that we communicate on social media influenced the way that we communicate when we're not on social media. So like, would you say that tweeting, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of that, all these platforms or, sites that we use, would you say that they have impacted the way that we actually interact person to person? Whether that be phone, whether like, when we talk about, like what you were saying before, people sitting around in a room, everybody on their phones, like how has that, and the actual language that we use and the ways that we communicate when we're having conversation. Do you think that social media has impacted that?
I do. I've seen niggas tell like Twitter jokes in person. And it just doesn't resonate the same way that it does online. And it's like there's a time and a place. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the original intention of social media, like we said, it was to be social. It's to link up with people that you know online, to stay connected, to network and all of that. And I think that's been lost. And I feel that, like I said before, I feel like it's made people dumb in the way that they communicate with one another in person, because they get so hung up on social media that they're so focused on that they stop knowing how to actually act in front of a real life human being.
Right.
And that's something that I observe.
So, like, you know, to that point, like, there are people who do not or are not comfortable, like, approaching a girl and asking her out on a date, like, in person, but literally be in the Tinder DMs 24/7.
All over the place. Just slinging digital dick all over the place.
So, I mean, I would definitely argue that social media has affected the way that we date, or the ways that romantic relationships are not only, started, but sustained.
I miss the days when you had to write your phone number on the back of like a Starburst wrapper or something and give it to a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, those were really fun days. You had to be innovative. Niggas had to be creative. And then on top of that, when they went out on dates, when you went out with niggas back in the day, they couldn't be on their phone because it was a green screen and all you can play was Snake.
Oh my God.
Like, so, at that time you had to be more engaging. You had to be creative. You had to come up with conversation because you didn't have social media there to distract you. And I feel, like I said, that social media has become such a distraction in how people deal with people in real life.
I agree.
Because they're so focused on the social media aspect of it, and that they get stupid.
So focused. I mean, you've used the word stupid like 17 times this episode.
Yeah.
I think that social media, the business of the internet and social media and everyone's a brand now. Everyone's a business. Mm-hmm. And while I think that there is value to that, and definitely I applaud and think it's great that people are out here building things and, taking advantage of all the opportunity that's available on the internet through social media. Mm-hmm. But I also feel like the pressure of having to manage a brand really like threatens the authenticity that people bring to the ways that they communicate. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, who am I? Am I a persona or am I really Kia? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or, and that especially in dating situations. And that's why, for those of you who have been following me for a little while, you may or may not have known that at one point I had a YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. And I did some stupid videos, but
stupid.
Like collectively, like the whole lot of them are stupid. But I did a couple of videos where I like made like bogus internet dating accounts and like would like look through profiles and just kind of react to what I was seeing. Those have turned out to be some of my more popular videos. The one specific to, I think the website is Christian Mangle.
I'll post the link in the description.
I don't think you should do that. But one of the things that I said that was challenging for me was like, I felt like I was shopping for a man. Like I would be online on Amazon shopping for, new shea butter or like some cocoa butter or some new face products or something. And the is this a word? Personability? Like being personable, like actually engaging, feeling connection with who a person is. I feel like all of that was lost and it becomes like boiled down to such superficial things. Like this nigga not tall enough, or he got emojis in his profile. Like, so I definitely think that how we've lost the substance behind our communication. And, we have created these, I don't want to say, because we're all guilty of it to a certain extent. I think we create these images and then you have to stay true to that image.
Well, that's why you shouldn't curate your Instagram page. Just, post sincere shit. Post shit you really want to post.
Fair. Yeah. I mean,
if you curate your life for people's pleasure or
likes
or whatever, and for likes
and double tap,
then you have truly lost sight of what life is really, really about. And then you need to do some self-reflection, because that is another issue. But you can't, you have to be grounded in your use of social media. There's nothing wrong with the use of social media. Both Kia and I use social media in
excess. I can speak for myself. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I do the pop-ins, but I still use it. I got a Facebook, I got a Twitter, I got a Snapchat. You know what I'm saying? I got all of that, but it's about balance, and it's about knowing how to separate, or not separate, actually, how to just live your real life.
Yeah.
And not allow social media to control that.
We're all guilty of falling in the trap. And I think this is not a conversation. I've said this before. I definitely don't want anyone to think that Jade and I are sitting over here on high horses of, perfection. Like, this is how you do things. But more so from real experience. Like, I'm out here engaging with niggas on, and when I say niggas in this sense, I'm actually talking about dudes. And feeling engaging with niggas on social media, whether it be Twitter or Instagram or any platform, and feeling not a fraud, but just I have struggled in terms of the ways that I communicate with guys, or even friends, or even after let's say I have met people that I've I guess connected with through dating apps or even Twitter or whatever. And been I don't like this nigga in real life. Or, you know what I'm saying? Who he is on this platform is entirely different than who he is sitting across from this table. And then I'm questioning myself, okay, so how did this happen? I guess the conversation, I just wanted to talk about this around the kitchen table, because I think it's important for us as we get older to remain conscious of the ways that we are communicating. Because as we use our words, we have to use them productively. And, we'll have to use them productively in different areas and arenas of our lives. So we should just be conscious of things and not just kind of go along to get along, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely.
So that's all I got. I feel like that was a little scattered and all over the place, but that is true to the nature of our show.
And our personalities.
And our lives. So yeah, we can move forward to the next segment.
Thanks again to Form for supporting this week's episode of Gettin' Grown. Form is the premium hair care collection dedicated to making every hair journey simpler and better. Form was inspired by your own hair care journey and delivers uncompromising performance without sacrificing the health of your hair. For women of all hair textures, and they do mean all, the Form collection is unique, versatile, and minimizes the guesswork. Just like their big brother brand Bevel, the homies at Form were tired of seeing the women they love struggle to find hair care that was personal, effective, and high quality. You know how moody your hair can be when doing twist outs and braid outs. Nuh-uh, honey. My braid out has been consistently flourishing in these streets when I combine a regimen including the Hydro and Revive conditioners combined, 3-in-1 leave-in lotion, curl cream, and defining curl gel, and the pomade. It's lit. You can get 10% off your entire order when you visit formbeauty.com/grown. The discount will be automatically applied at checkout. That's formbeauty.com/grown. Get personal with Form. Now let's get back to the show.
Honestly, truly.
Honestly, truly. Honestly, truly. Honestly and truly. Honestly and truly.
Yep.
It's time for the honesty box.
Yep. Yeah. Let's get in it. Let's get on in the box. Pause.
You did not pause. Oh, I can't believe you paused. Anyway, hi, Jade and Kia. First off, I want to say that I absolutely love your podcast.
Wait. What are you?
What?
You reading the letter?
Yeah.
All right, then, because we got an update. I didn't know if you was reading that.
Oh, shit. I forgot about that. Let's do that first.
You see? This is why I'm here. But go ahead. You got it.
I mean, it's fine. So you have to have somebody for organization, and you have to have somebody for
what are you
other
for?
Stuff.
What are you for, sis?
For the people.
All right.
Yeah, we got an update from last week. Take it away, sis.
Wool on. Yes, we got an update. It says, "Hey, lovelies, I'm back with an update." And yes, Kia and Jay for coming through with the words of wisdom. You know, we out here. We're trying the very best that we can.
I'm here with words of wisdom. You be trying to discredit me. What are you here for?
Nobody's discrediting you.
What are you here for? What are you here for?
Just let me know when you've wrapped up this insecurity. I'll wait. I will wait. Because ain't nobody say nothing about discrediting you.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Of course, the douche texted me after ignoring me for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, 14 days, with a plain Jane ass text message saying, "I miss you."
Remember when y'all were engaged? Anyway, go ahead.
Were they engaged? Oh,
weren't they? Didn't they? Well, yeah.
I don't think they was engaged. The week before they were engaged.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're right. Wrong goodness. Episode.
He said, "I miss you." No apology, no anything. He basically hammered in my head on how horrible I was, how I took situations and made them over the top, basically belittling me to no end. We are now officially over. All of these things are in the trash, and I do plan on changing my locks. He had keys. My God.
Keys.
I'm officially done, and although he tried to make this situation about me, I will continue to pray until God finally sends me my husband. Also, I would love to hear more testimonies of women who overcame fuckboys. It gives me a sense of hope. Love you, ladies. Signed, Moving On. Well, moving on.
You
formerly blocked and confused woman, we commend you. Right. We commend you for, ending this because it's needed to be ended. I also wanted to just add to your prayers for the Lord to send you your husband. I think you should amend in those prayers. Would you just ask him to help us? Because this is real and this is something I pray for myself. Help me to be ready for the husband that God has for me. Because a lot of times, I don't even want to say a lot of times, but I fully acknowledge the mess that is myself. And I know that. Are you agreeing that I'm a mess? Is that what that was?
No, I'm agreeing that I recognize that I'm also a mess.
I just want to be sure. Okay.
Let me know when you're done with these insecurities.
Fine. I just was getting ready to address something if I needed to address it.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Address your insecurities.
Girl, insecure these. Okay. I'm sorry, sis. As I was saying, I think that it is important for us to acknowledge and be willing to do our own work and take responsibility for the roles that we played in our situations. Mm-hmm. So, and I think that you did that. And
even if you didn't do anything wrong, I'm sorry.
No. I was just saying, I think that she did that. And I think that while she's praying for the Lord to send her a husband, I feel like that's amazing. That's an honest prayer. But we also should pray because, a husband is not going to fix the situation if you still raggedy. That's all I'm saying.
It's just going to bring you another
It's just going to bring you a whole nother raggedy nigga. If you have not changed yourself, and not saying that you have to literally, if you're not improved and grown, I should say, then, there's a large chance, huge likelihood that you will attract another nigga who will not treat you the way that you need to be treated. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, sis.
Yeah. Here's the thing. No matter what phone company you go with, you're always going to have an issue. If it's the customer service, if it's the prices, if it's the actual service, if it's the fact that they don't have the dope phones, it's always going to be something with each phone provider that you go with. Any cable company you go with, you're always going to have an issue with them, especially because there's a monopoly on cable. With the niggas, you have your single women problems, and then you get married, and you get these really like fun married lady problems.
Yay, married lady problems.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait.
And no, I'm for those of you who love to spin shit around, I'm not saying that I hate my husband. I'm saying that
no, we didn't hear that.
Marriage and relationships are work.
Indeed.
And
say that one more time.
Constant work. Like, you gotta actively work on them. You cannot get to a point where you're like, ooh, I'm about to coast. No, ain't no coasting, nigga. Like, you gotta work and make sure the shit is in line for the duration of your relationship. You gotta make sure that you're putting in your efforts by listening, by communicating, by, checking yourself, by effectively communicating with the other person, by making sure that you keep the romance there and the friendship. Like, it's constant work. Not saying that it's not something you want to do, but it's work nonetheless. And so when you go from having some of these problems, some single lady problems, you may not have those anymore, but you go into having to do a whole different type of labor. You know what I'm saying? So careful what you pray for.
I mean,
it'll come to you when it's time.
It's absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with, like, I don't want, a lot of times we feel like we get out of a situation, we get right back in another one, but there's nothing wrong with legit just like being
taking some time.
Like,
nah.
You know what I'm saying? Just kind of like enjoying, yourself, getting to know yourself, and doing your own work, so that when the next situation comes, you'll be in an improved place as far as you're concerned. Niggas. They are.
They're looking for niggas out here.
It's a full-on helicopter, bro.
In Flatbush. And it's like, I remember in my nice little period where I was like healthy emotionally and I was over my breakup. No, I lie. I was not. However, I was getting there. I was trying to get on my glow up, but I thoroughly had moments where I enjoyed my single, like, womanness.
It's lit.
It was great. I bought all this wine, you know what I'm saying, and other stuff, and I did exactly what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. Didn't matter what day of the week it was, what evening. I lived in my own house. I had my own vehicle. I could do exactly what I wanted to do. I remember when I was doing this project in Oklahoma. I lived in Oklahoma for 4.5 months. Worst time of my life. I mean, it was just awful. But anyway, lived in Oklahoma for 4.5 months, and I wanted something from IKEA. Oklahoma didn't have no IKEA. And you know what I did? I got in my car and I drove 3 hours to Dallas to IKEA because I felt like going to IKEA that day. It was so wonderful. Like, I was always able to do exactly what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it, and I didn't have nobody to talk to about it.
I can dig it. I totally can dig it. You better take this cross state lines trip.
Absolutely. For some furniture that I have to assemble myself.
You do what you want when you're popping.
That's it.
So that's our update. You want to read like the actual honesty box letter after, we've talked about this for like 15 minutes, but we'll do it again for you, sis. Congratulations on being on moving on. Absolutely.
Fuck nigga free. Anyway, okay. Hi, Jade and Kia. First off, I want to say that I absolutely love your podcast and I look forward to tuning in each week. You two are so spot on. We sure do. With your topics and your commentary, thank you. Some of our topics do come from suggestions from listeners, and you all are all welcome to write in because we always want to hear what you have to say. gettinggrownpodcast@gmail.com. Anyway. And your commentary is hilarious. Thank you. So please keep up the amazing work. Secondly, I'd like to thank you ladies for taking the time out to read and answer my honesty box posting and give me advice on my situation. So here we go. I'm 25 years old and I feel like I'm in a stagnant relationship. I'm currently a traveling registered nurse and I'll be starting a Doctor of Nursing practice program in the spring. After completing this degree, I will be the first person in my entire family to hold a graduate doctoral degree, and that is something that I'm super proud about. I've worked extremely hard to achieve everything that I've accomplished in my life and career thus far, and I feel as if everything is going perfectly career-wise. However, my personal life is lacking. I've been in a relationship with my high school sweetheart for 8 years, and I honestly don't know what's next for us. He has a bachelor's degree, however, his goal is to become a career artist. He's a painter, sculptor, photographer, and musician. He has absolutely no desire to work for anyone else or work a regular job. Don't get me wrong, I don't see anything wrong with being your own boss because let's face it, everyone isn't cut out for the 9 to 5 hustle. However, he's 26 years old and his mom is still paying for everything. Rent, electricity, cell phone, car, insurance, etc. because he's set on making it with his art and or music, and he feels like working a normal job would just take away from his creative process.
Yikes.
He is a great artist, but the art world can be fickle and the money is not guaranteed. I know that he loves me and he really wants to get married, but I don't think that this is the best idea since he can't even support himself, let alone me and a future family.
Married.
It just wouldn't be wise to enter into a marriage like this. I know, right? That word.
That just like came
in
out.
my opinion. I know.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Since he's never had to support himself, I don't think he fully understands how the real life works as far as having to pay bills, budget, and plan for the future. He's a really nice guy, but I'm afraid that I'm wasting my time. I've been dating him since I was 17, so this is the only serious relationship that I've ever been in. Another thing is that we're both wanting to remain abstinent until we get married. I feel really lucky to have someone who's willing to wait with me because I don't think most men are doing that these days. So I often wonder if I should be more patient and allow him to figure things out or if I need to move on. I've just been really frustrated lately because after 8 years of being in a relationship with someone, of course I'd like to be moving towards the beginning of the next chapter of my life. But instead, I'm just sort of waiting around for him to get himself together. Another thing that's keeping me in the relationship is that he's my best friend and we were friends before we began dating in high school. So the idea of becoming single and losing his companionship scares me a lot, but I sometimes feel that I could be doing better. I didn't grow up with a lot of money and I saw my mom constantly struggle to make ends meet. So I always knew that I wanted better, not only for me, but for my future children. And in no way am I saying that I want some super rich guy to take care of me. I just want to be able to at least meet me halfway. Am I wrong for feeling like this? Thank you so much for your help.
Woo, sis, that was so much. Well, I want to thank you so much for writing in and sharing
Absolutely.
your situation. I'm not a professional, and I'm not even all that. I'm just gonna offer you what I would want someone to tell me. What I think I would want someone to tell me if I were in your shoes. And you're welcome to do with that as you please. So there's a lot going on in your life and in your letter. And what I'm hearing first is that, you know, you're reaching a lot of conclusions on your own. And it makes me wonder how much you have shared, how much of your feelings you've shared with your boyfriend. And if this person is your best friend and your companion and you guys are so close, I would hope that there's a level of comfort there where you can be as transparent as you need to be about the situation. And I think the first order of business is making sure that he knows exactly how you feel about a lot of things about him, as far as, you know, the first thing being like, you know, you care about him so much. You guys are best friends. You love him. He's somebody who you want to be with ultimately, fundamentally, like, you know, aside from all this other stuff. Did I say A or number one? I don't remember. I always get confused. But secondly, next, that's the good one. So next, I think that he needs to know how you feel about his situation as far as it is concerning that he's 27 years old. And if you guys are talking marriage, maybe you guys should have a conversation about what your expectations are of one another as it relates to husbands, and like, what is your expectation of husband? These are my expectations of a husband. If you're going to be my husband, that means you're going to do these things. If you're going to be my wife, that means you're going to do these things. I think you need to get out in the open what your expectations are, what your standards are, as far as not conflating those things, because they're two different things, but like what your standards are. Maybe standards are the best word. What your standards are for marriage, what a husband, your ideal husband, what you're looking for in that regard, and saying that this is your standard and you're not going to settle for less than it. Mm-hmm. And if he cares about you and you like you care about him, my hope is that he would start to take initiative to make changes to ensure that he meets the standard that you set. Just like you would do things to ensure that you meet the standards that he set. I think the next thing I would make sure is that you guys are thinking in the same way along, like, as far as like timeline and just having an understanding of what your goals are. You're going into a doctoral program. He is still very much in a place of kind of finding where his purpose and passions are and how to realize that into something that can sustain him as a man. So I think you guys need to, have a conversation about what the differences between your stages in life, where you guys are and the different stages in your lives, and what that means for your relationship. I don't think that these are not conversations that are impossible to have. They may be a little uncomfortable at first, but I'm confident. I want to believe that if this is your best friend, you guys can talk candidly and very genuinely about, your feelings about things. So I think the first order of business here is to just having a conversation and just being like, you're scaring me. Like, just like you laid it out for us, I think you should lay it out for him. There's no, I don't know, sis, I'm gonna let you talk, but I don't think that there's like a secret sauce here where you can like do these things and that's where the answer is. I think this is like something that y'all just gonna have to hash out between the two of you. And I don't know if I or Jade can determine whether or not your relationship is stagnant because we're not in it. But
exactly,
the fact that you feel this way is telling.
Exactly. So I first of all, I 100% agree with Kia, because one thing that I noticed in this entire email is that I'm not really seeing a huge communication scenario. Maybe you just dynamic. Didn't paint it there, but yeah, dynamic. It looks kind of like you're just kind of dispelling, to us how you feel, but you're not really
what you think he's feeling or where you think he's at about things.
Or just like what you observe, like he's doing this.
Right.
But I'm not really seeing you say, when I said this to him, this was his response. And that is alarming because so it sounds like the very first thing you need to do, if you haven't already done it, is open your mouth.
Right.
You got to sit down, like he has said, and you have to lay out your expectations and you have to ask questions and ask him where he wants to go. Now, you did say that a 9-to-5 is not for him. He doesn't want a regular job. He wants to work for himself. We all want to work for ourselves. However, when we become adults and we throw words around like marriage, we have to be willing to do what we need to do to provide for our families. And if that means that you have to get a quote unquote regular job so they can get some benefits, and then you work on your art in addition to that, then you do that. But that shows a level of responsibility. But that's not it's your responsibility to communicate that to him. And then from there, that's when you take the next steps. We can't tell you what to do in this particular situation. You have to determine all of this for yourselves. But I think the very first thing you need to do is communicate how you're feeling.
Right.
Sit down and have a real conversation and see where he's coming from. Let him know where you're coming from. Set your expectations. Tell him what's not going to fly and what's not going to be okay if you guys are going to try to move forward to starting a family together or getting married and doing whatever you all choose to do. You need to talk first.
Right.
You need to talk, and it doesn't sound like there's a whole lot of talking going on.
Go ahead, sis. I'm sorry.
Well, you go ahead.
I think and another thing I would say is one thing at a time. So, I think it's amazing that the two of you are abstinent and saving yourselves. Because I think that provides a level of clarity in your thinking.
Absolutely.
When it comes to how you guys engage with each other and think about things. It doesn't add the complicated layer of, sex, which is a real thing.
Absolutely.
But I also feel like, that is, don't worry about something like, I feel like you're worried about something that may or may not even warrant you being stressed out about right now.
Right.
So you talking about losing, who's to say, yes, realistically, it could be that, the conversation that you have with your boyfriend may result in your relationship dissolving or changing. But it may also be true that, this could be the light bulb that he needs to, kind of change some things about himself and work towards, addressing some of the issues or the concerns that you've raised. So don't just worry about one thing at a time. That's what I would say.
Yeah. Especially if you're getting ready to begin a doctoral program, especially in nursing, like you have a lot that you have to be focused on.
And
that doesn't that doesn't need to be it right now. Honestly, you don't have time to try to raise nobody, but you do. If you do want to remain in this relationship and you want it to go in a healthy direction, then you do have to effectively communicate with your partner. But on another note, you said something that concerned me a little bit, and it only concerned me because it's something that I recognize in myself that I have said before. When I was younger, also in a very long-term relationship, you said that you guys began dating in high school and you were friends before, and the idea of becoming single and losing his companionship scares you. I think you really should also evaluate, like, while we're sitting here telling you all the steps in order to try to help you to move your relationship in a healthy direction, I think you need to stop and evaluate too, especially with all that you're getting ready to do and all that you're getting ready to take on. If this is actually what you really want right now, and are you in this because you truly want this, or are you in this because you don't want to be single and you don't want to lose his companionship? And that doesn't mean that you don't care about him. You could, you can't be with a person for that long and be friends with them and, express, how you feel about them the way that you have to us and not care about a person. So we're not saying that you don't care about him, but you might want to take a step back and evaluate if this is really where you want to be right now, period. And maybe some of these things are rising, to the forefront because it's bringing out some other underlying feelings. And if you are staying there for the sake of companionship
or fear, because that's what I hear.
Fear,
yeah, you don't want to.
Yeah, exactly. You don't losing that fear, companionship. Yeah. Should I say
fear should not be the root? It should not. What's holding you guys together? Fear, because that's scary. Fear. You don't think clearly when you're afraid.
No, you just react to do whatever it is to save yourself. You go into a survival mode.
Yeah.
And that's not always the best way. And so I would really take a step back there and think about that and ask yourself and the honest questions and answer yourself honestly. Is this where I want to be right now? Am I only here because of this? Like, I do care about him, but am I here because I care about him and because I'm scared of losing him? Like, you need to make sure that you really, and you're still young.
Very young.
So much evolving. And I hear so much, I feel like a lot of this is coming forward because you reach so many different stages in your life. Like, you're a different person at 18, at 21, at 23, at 25. And so, and we all go through that, but I think women go through it a little bit quicker. And sometimes even more drastically, but we all become different people as we evolve and mature and grow and experience different things. And you don't want to feel like you have to stay in that place that you were at a certain age. It's okay for you to recognize that you may want something different now because you are a different person, because you've grown into a different person.
You're an adult and you're allowed to change your mind.
You sure are. Every time.
But you don't want to. Yeah, I agree with what Jay said. You have to, don't just, I guess I don't want to just think, give yourself time.
That's
a lot of times people feel like, because we get to certain ages and stages in our life, or we look at a situation and you be like, I've been with this nigga for 7 years. What is happening? But, and I think that that's fair, but there's process to things. And a lot of times the timelines that we put on, our lives are they're meaningless. Like life just doesn't happen in the timing that we think it's going to happen. So I agree with Jade's what she said, especially about taking the pressure off yourself to feel like you have to make a decision or know exactly what you're going to do right now. Just giving yourself time to kind of, let yourself off the hook. You don't have to, it's okay to not know right now. That's what I'm saying or trying to say. But we hope that that's helpful to you. Please let us know. Send us an update if you so choose. If anyone else has any advice for our faithful listener who wrote us this super special letter, feel free to send us an email at gettinggrownpodcast@gmail.com. And we'll move forward into the next segment, which I believe is the Black Women Self-Care.
Yes.
Don't forget, this week's episode of Getting Grown is also brought to you by Talkspace. Quite frankly, we all could do better to take care of ourselves. Our mental health and wellness should be priority, especially as we figure out this thing called adulting. Today's sponsor, Talkspace, the online therapy company, makes it super easy to connect with an experienced, licensed therapist that you pick based on your personal preferences for as little as $32 a week. You can send your therapist text, audio, and video messages, and even do a live video chat. All Talkspace therapists are fully licensed and have completed thousands of hours of supervised professional training and rigorous screening processes to ensure that available services are of the highest quality. To match with your perfect therapist, go to Talkspace.com/grown. And as a special offer for listeners, you can use coupon code GROWN to get $30 off your first month and show your support for this podcast. That's code GROWN and Talkspace.com/grown. Talkspace. Therapy for how we live today.
I deserve.
We're back with another episode or segment, not episode, but we're back with another edition. That's the word I was looking for, of Black Women Self-Care. We haven't done it in a few weeks, and some of our listeners were like, hey girl, what's happening? So here we are. Sis, what have you been doing to take care of yourself as a Black woman?
Nothing.
Come on.
I ran today. I exerted some energy.
All right.
And
exercise.
That is not my Black woman self-care, because I didn't run for exercise. I ran because somebody forgot something.
Oh my God.
But what I actually did for Black women self-care is I have been working around the clock. And I mean, when I tell you all, like, I'm going right now off of 3 hours of sleep. I went to bed at 7:00 this morning. I had to wake up at 10. And I've kind of just been going like that constantly.
It's not Black women self-care.
I'm getting to it.
All right. I'm just saying, I want you to take better care of yourself as a Black woman.
I know. And I know I am acknowledging that I have to do better with that. However, what I did today was I said, I could sit in this house and go to sleep, which is probably what I need to do. But it was a nice day, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be outside. So one thing that I always do, especially being a chef, is way too much. I always do entirely too much when it comes to cooking meals, having people over, hosting. I want to do everything from scratch, every sauce, every gravy, every salad dressing, like everything's from scratch. And I'm doing a cookout, I got to do it proper. I got to have the right potato salad. Then I want this type. It's like if you give a mouse a cookie type of shit. Like if I got to have this type of potato salad, I got to have that type of potato salad. I got to have beans because I got to have the beans with the potato salad. I got to have something green. And it becomes like Thanksgiving. Today, we said we were going to grill out in the park, something simple. I did some burgers. I did some sausages and some chicken wings. And some grilled corn. I kept it super simple, and it ended up being one of the best energies in a cookout that we've had in a really long time. It was great. Like, Everybody had a good time. We had the music going. We were just drinking. The kids were playing. It was a really good time. And I didn't make any potato salad. I didn't make any type of side. It was literally burgers, sausages, chicken, chips, some fruit. You know what I'm saying? Like very simple. And it was a really good time. So that's my Black woman self-care. I finally didn't do too much and ended up having a really good time doing it.
I can dig it.
What about you?
So two things. I went to my primary care physician for a checkup.
So good.
And admittedly, it had been more than a year since I'd been to a primary care physician, just because, you know, like life was crazy and I just let my physicals lapse. And I just hadn't had one, but you know, I made a point to do that because it was something that I know I needed to do. Because it's important as we get older that we continue to go and have our blood work done and make sure that things are working in and in order physically. And just to learn, because, you know, things change about yourself. And we just got to make sure that we, you know, make that happen. So I was glad that I was able to get that done. And thankfully, all my blood work came back and, you know, things were in order. So I'm very grateful for that. Also, I have been, like I said, I'm over here drinking my water and counting my calories and watching my carbs. I've also made a concerted effort. I did to, you know, keep up with my workouts, and I worked out pretty consistently last week. So I am feeling pretty good about that. And I think that that's my Black woman self-care. So you guys let us know what you guys are doing, whether it be, you know, whether you got a new book or some new nail polish, or you took a nap, or you watched your favorite show, you listened to your favorite podcast. Let us know what you guys are doing to take care of yourself as Black women. We will definitely share. So let us know on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all that jazz. And yeah.
And all that jazz.
Oh my goodness.
There was this white lady who came to this jazz club I used to work at one time.
Eliza Minnelli.
We used to have some really dope people who used to come through that club. Like, we had some really dope people, but this lady was cheesy boots. And I remember she ended one of her songs with, and all that jazz.
Oh my gosh.
And so every time I hear all that jazz, that's all I ever think about. Is that lady and her spirit fingers.
Love it. Don't come for her.
And I want to be very responsible of the things I say to my sister. Because everybody know I can be real petty. P-E to the T-T-Y, honey.
It's time for petty peeves.
Yep, it sure is. What's your petty peeve?
So, I have a couple petty peeves this week.
Oh,
they're all they're from a listener. And one of them is a petty peeve to her petty peeve.
A petty peeve about her petty peeve?
It's a petty peeve about her petty peeve.
In response to her petty peeve?
Yes.
Okay, so you're
reply.
You're seeing her petty, but you're raising her.
I'm raising her petty a couple chips. Throwing my chips in, I'm like, I raise your petty because my petty don't fuck with your petty.
Oh my God.
But it does though, because one of her petties I actually thoroughly rock with, and then another one I just wanted to tell her. So anyway, comes from Andrea. And she says, if we're in a drive-thru and we're 3 cars from the window, don't honk your horn at me if I don't drive up immediately when the line moves. Like I'm trying to get this text off. What's your rush? You trying to be closer to waiting longer? Ugh. Andrea, yes, I do want you to move up immediately when the other car in front of you moves up. You know why? Because that puts us all 3 milliseconds closer to getting our food. It's fast food. I want it fast. I got on the line so I can get my food fast. I don't care about your text message. You want to send a text message? Pull into a parking spot. I don't care about your text. I want my food. Drive up. I don't care if 3 cars are ahead of us. Drive up. Pull up. Anyway, it's no shade. I mean that with all the love in the world. Mm-hmm. Where I do agree with you is that you said, put a liner in the trash can after you take the trash out and fill up the damn ice cube tray. Why the hell do you use all the ice cubes and leave the tray on the counter? My nigga, if you don't fill that shit up and put it back in the freezer.
Oh my gosh.
I agree 100%. First of all, nothing irritates me more than an empty trash can. I don't want to accidentally throw my balled up paper towel into the bin and there's no liner there. That is aggravating and it's lazy. Furthermore, I agree with you with the ice tray. Or, you know what's worse than when a nigga puts it on the counter? When he puts it back in the freezer.
Oh my
and then
gosh.
you need to go get ice. And it's nothing but a wonderful, cold, chilled, empty ice tray. That is rude and inconsiderate.
Go on.
So I agree with you there. Anyway, what's your petty peeve list?
Well, I actually shared a petty peeve on Instagram this weekend.
You sure did.
So I feel like, I have reached my petty quota for the week.
That wasn't petty at all.
I for those of you who may have missed it, I'll give you a brief abridged version. I went into DSW to find myself a new pair of shoes because I like new shoes. They make me happy. And I saw a pair of shoes that I really liked and, was considering whether or not I should buy them, was going back and forward, trying them on. They're kind of like open-toed sandals. So, they fit. And we were just going to go to the register and get them. When I got to the register, the little girl told me that she couldn't sell them to me because one was a 9.5 and one was a size 10. So some person. Mm-hmm. So they searched. First they searched to make sure that it was an actual mistake. Whether or not someone just put the box, put the shoes back incorrectly. But was able to determine that was not the case. And the manager confirmed that there was, a theft earlier that day or, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Either way, it was pretty much confirmed that someone had switched out, the shoes, put the 9.5, split the pair of shoes. Because they have one big foot and one bigger foot, I guess. I don't know. But I was very, very angry. I was very angry because DSW said that they could not sell me the mismatched shoes. And then I had to go, I could check other stores to find out if they had the shoes in my size. But that was just annoying. So I kind of went off about it on Snapchat and I posted it on the Gettin Grown podcast Instagram. So if you have missed that, I welcome you to go and check out the full rant. It is there available for your listening pleasure.
It is hilarious. It also caused my phone to blow up because I'm an old lady and I didn't know about changing your notifications in your settings.
Oh my gosh.
So therefore, my phone went to 1% in a matter of an hour because Kia's hilarious rant about somebody's stepbrother, stepsister ass shoes.
I was upset. I was very, very, very upset.
As you should be. But did you get the shoes?
I did. The question is, I did not wear them to the event like I had planned. So now I did all of that for nothing. And now I'm just debating whether or not I'm going to take the shoes back altogether. Because now when I look at them, I get angry because it's I went through all of that and I don't have them. So
you about to moonlight the shoes.
I just feel like I'm almost over the shoes at this point. I don't know if I still want them. I might take them out of the box and put them on my feet one more time. And if I do not have the initial, oh my gosh, I love these shoes reaction that I had when I first saw them, they're going back to the store.
The joy, you no longer have the joy in your heart for the shoes.
The joy has been stolen. And I think the joy has been stolen. And I just feel like yeah. So in that vein, that was my petty peeve for the week. I'm going to read a petty peeve for one of our listeners. Nicole writes, "Hello, ladies. My petty peeve are my two coworkers who keep the volume on their office phones at the highest pitch all day. We sit in a small office, and every email, text, phone call, notification, I know when they get it. For example, today at work, the new executive assistant was sending out multiple meeting invites to everyone in the office. And every time someone responded to this email chain, I knew right away. Why? Because my coworkers' loud notifications. Later the day, I was in one conference room in a meeting, and the same coworker's ringer was going off for a phone call. Does she answer it right away? Heck no. She looks to see if she recognizes the number. Then she decides not to answer it all and let it ring. I literally got out of my chair and walked over to the conference room to tell her, could you please lower your phone volume or wear earphones? Your phone is a disruption to the entire office. She looks stunned and surprised at my comment. She is not a younger person. She's in her 30s and should know better. Nicole, go off, sis. I mean, y'all know how I feel about hearing anything that my coworkers are doing. I don't want to hear you chewing. I don't want to hear you breathing. I don't want to hear you talking. I don't want to hear you, period. No. I mean, this loud phone notification, that would blow me as well.
Yeah. Especially if it's going off all day. Like, put your phone on vibrate. Grow up.
Bruh.
I put my phone on vibrate. Like, I generally keep my phone on vibrate, which is probably not very safe. But the sound is off a lot of the time. I have to sometimes remember to put it on because I'm so bad with my phone. But the sound is off most of the time. And when I get to work, it's cognizantly off. Like, I make sure that my phone is on vibrate all day at work because I do not want to hear my own phone go off all day, let alone yours.
Agreed.
And that is another episode of Gettin' Grown.
Episode 20 to be exact.
Yeah, we're not teenagers anymore.
I know, we're growing up.
And we're tired, just like adults.
We have to stop saying that. I've received some feedback that, us being tired is not good. Which is...
It's not.
I feel like it's not good, but it's real.
I feel like it is also along the entire theme of the show, which is Gettin' Grown. And what is one of the prime elements of Gettin' Grown? It's various aches and pains, and it's being tired. I mean, it is. It's like,
what do you guys think?
Adults are tired.
I mean, I think, it's not intentional. I don't know. I don't want to speak for you, Jade, but we got lots going on. That's not an excuse because we absolutely are grateful for the opportunity to do this podcast. Sure. And we're grateful for all of you who listen every single week. And we're trying our best to get you guys good shows that you want to listen to. Not making any excuses, but, we be working. And a lot of times we don't have the opportunity, or even when we do have the opportunity, we just got a lot going on. But we're going to work on it. Thank you guys for your patience. And we're going to keep learning and growing and getting better. And with we're going to bid y'all.
And we have guests coming.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We about to pull some extra chairs to the kitchen table.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be great.
With that being said, mind your business, drink your water, and moisturize your skin.
And your soul.
And your soul. And moisturize your soul. Nobody wants an ashy soul.
No.
And nobody wants ashy skin because your black will crack if it's dry.
Bye.